a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Business with a servant's heart. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk on life. Our guest will share his life story. We want you to success in life. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk on life. We're gonna talk on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are gonna witness. Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Business with a servant's heart. Listen to the podcast.
Welcome to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. Every episode is an invitation, a reminder that business and life isn't just about profit, it's about purpose. It's about showing up with a servant's heart in every deal and every decision, every day to make a powerful impact on others. Today's guest is going to light you up. You'll be motivated, you'll be challenged, and most importantly, you're going to walk away with tools that inspire action both in your life and the lives of others. Audience, here's your homework. How will you serve yourself and others today? Doesn't have to be a big impact. Even a small act of kindness or courage can change the game. So lean in, take notes. Shout out to my two sponsors, A Mind for All Seasons. Your brain is your greatest competitive edge, and it deserves to perform like one. Want to think faster, remember more, and stay focused longer? Just text the word OPTIMIZE to 72000. Optimize to 72000 and get instant access to Welcome 6 short to Doing powerful Business videos, with a Servant's each just Heart. 3 or 5 Steve minutes Ramona, that reveal every simple episode is strategies an invitation to unlock reminder people that mental business and life performance isn't just about because when your profit, brain is it's clear, about purpose. your business grows. It's about showing up an with epic a impact, servant's the heart in every storytelling deal, system every that helps your decision, message connect every and day convert. to make a powerful It's just 4 impact on steps. others. Engage. Today's persuade, guest is going to inspire, light you up, close with you'll clarity. be motivated. I use it every day for all my and most messages. importantly, you're going to walk away with tools
Try
that
it
inspire
free
action
at
both in your
Epic
life
Impact
and the lives of
AI
others.
with code Steve.
Audience, here's your
Change
homework.
your
messages. How will you serve
Change
yourself
your
and others
results.
today? Excited to announce Doing Business with Servant's Heart podcast was named Top 6
change the game
in small business
So lean
marketing.
in, take notes.
Thanks to all of
Shout out
you,
to my two sponsors,
my guest, A
and
Mind
my
for All
audience.
Seasons. You've
Your brain
impacted
is
so
your
many
greatest
people.
competitive
Let's continue
edge,
doing
and
it.
it
Deserves to perform like one. Want to think faster, remember more, and stay focused longer? Just text the word OPTIMIZE to 72000. Optimize to 72000 and get instant access to 6 short, powerful videos, each just 3 to 5 minutes, that reveal simple strategies to unlock peak mental performance. Because when your brain is clear, your business grows. And Epic Impact, the storytelling system that helps your message connect and convert, it's just 4 steps. Engage, persuade, inspire, close with clarity. I use it every day for all my messages. Try it free at epicimpact.ai with code Steve. Change your messages, change your results. Excited to announce Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast was named Top 6 in small business marketing. Thank you all of you, my guest and my audience. You've impacted so many people. Let's continue doing that. Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host, Steve Ramona. Do you eat? I hope you do, because we need to eat. Of course, we need to drink water more than anything, but we're going to talk about nutrition, which is so important. And people go, I hear that all the time. I had to hear it 4 or 5 times to change my nutrition to lose 45 pounds. And finally, I got it. But my guest today, she's so wonderful. You're going to love her. Let's bring her on. Chelsea, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Holistic nutrition. It's out there, holistic coaching. And what does that really mean?
Right. Really coming at it, to me, it means coming at it in the most natural way, in the way for me that God designed our bodies and the way he designed us to be healthy. And that's partially food, but involves a lot of other things as well.
Is the Bible one of the better nutrition books out there?
Absolutely. 100%. When we look to the Bible for our way to live, I think a lot of people don't think of it as a guide for how to eat and for our health. But what I like to share with people is that who knows better than the maker of our body, what our body needs to be well, whether that is food or rest or sunshine or being outside in nature, all of those things are revealed right there in the Bible. And those are all things that really bring us to our best health.
I love that. And Jesus, he fasted. We talked about this for the show, and I
Yeah.
fasted for 40 days. I talked to a lot of people because I've had some great results. They're like, I can't do that. I've got to work out, or I've got an 8 hour day. What's your thought process on the fasting?
On fasting. Absolutely. Well, I always think of it, I think always back to like our biblical brothers and sisters, maybe even our great grandmothers, grandfathers, and just starting with that intermittent fast, right? Where we're just fasting overnight. And how, back in the olden days, you ate dinner, then that was it, right? Like, okay, kitchen's closed. And how over the years, with the onset of processed food and all of these conveniences, we start eating more, and especially eating more after dinner, things that we don't need. And so for what I like to start for with people is just a good intermittent fast. Eat dinner and then stop. And then, have your breakfast the next day. And if you can get somewhere between 12 to 16 hours, you're really working with your body's design to not only burn sugar but burn fat, because when we fast, we start burning off our fat. Our body starts burning off our reserves. Most people don't give their body enough time to be able to ever get to that point, because we just keep feeding it and feeding it. It always prioritize burning sugar. So I say start there. We're really working with God's design and honoring the way God designed our bodies to eat, have a break from eating. That's when our body does repair. It's when our body does detoxification. And then eat the next day. Eating's a daytime activity. Detoxification is your nighttime activity, or most of it. And then also moving into those longer fasts, those more spiritual fasts. I know that you say you fast every Monday. You do a
Correct.
long fast, right? I love that. I think a once a week, longer, maybe up to a 24-hour fast is amazing for the body. I tell people, if we did a weekly fast and a weekly Sabbath, that in and of itself would be the most amazing reset for the body. And those are two things that we just don't do. But
The reset for the
we are called to do.
right. I love this. I love what you just said, because audience, here's what she broke it down: 12 to 16 hours. Guess what? 8 of those 12 hours you're sleeping.
Right.
So it's that simple.
Hmm.
You're brilliant. Oh my God, this lady is so smart. I'm so excited. Um, Nutrition is a mess. There's diets. Somebody just posted something yesterday about Mediterranean diet. Is it a diet? Is it not? Is it a? I forget what else they said. What's the best way or first step they can take to change their nutrition?
Hmm. Well, again, there's so much conflicting advice out there, which is
Mhm.
really frustrating, and you don't know what to do. And it leads people, yo-yoing and trying different things. But here is, again, looking back to the Bible, for me, made it very simple and plain. In scripture, Genesis 1:29 says God gives us plants. In Genesis 9:3, God gives us meat. Very simple. And when we, really focus our diet on good produce, vegetables, fruits, good proteins from healthy sources, healthy animals, and that is the ultimate diet, the ultimate combination for diet, having both. And those portions might be a little, maybe somebody lean a little bit heavier into the vegetables. Some people might lean heavier into, more animal based. It can kind of depend on what's going on with your gut and some other things. I think both can be healthy and therapeutic, but that's really the basis that we start with. And going from there, it's truly as simple as that.
Simple has got to be, because that's the problem with nutrition and the noise you mentioned earlier. You
Mhm.
go on social media, but truly our body's a temple.
It
We've
is.
got to treat it like, right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And where I'm coming from with what all I'm doing is, when we feel well, we serve well. And I think so many people feel terrible in their body or about their body. And it really holds them back from living into everything God created them to be, whether that is the best parent and just being, vibrant and energetic and not moody with your family, or it's in the work that you do, or it's in volunteering, or whatever it is. If you're constantly just kind of living under the radar because you feel crappy, then you're just missing out on so much of the gifts, the blessings, and the calling that God has for you. So that's what I really love to see and really spread this message, is just health is wealth, and it really is, a first step into showing up into what God calls us to do. Like you said, the body is a temple. That is what it says. 1 Corinthians 6:19. Your body is a temple. You live your life in this vessel of your body. That's how you interact with everything. And the healthier it is, the better you feel in it and about it. Everything is just going to work better in life.
Health is wealth, audience.
Mm-hmm.
Powerful. Because I talk to people very wealthy, and they have a heart attack, their wealth diminishes, not in their life but their business, because they can't be there, they can't be present. And there's other things involved with that, but
Right.
a lot of them. So walk me through the journey. Somebody becomes a client of yours to help with their nutrition. What's that journey look like when they start?
Right. Well, I have several different programs that I walk people through. And I have a group called the Christian Health Club. And that's where I work with all of my clients in community, in fellowship. I find that that is such an important piece, is having encouragement, fellowship, accountability alongside of you. And so all of my programs are teaching different elements of these things in scripture. One thing that God just kind of gave me this download and revealed to me several years after I had solely been working in nutrition was that nutrition is important. It is so important. But there's more to it than that. He led me to the book of Genesis, the creation story. And if you look there, we are created, as part of that creation story, but there's other elements. There is the sunshine, there's water, there's nature, there's earth, the plant foods, the animal foods. God blew life into our nose. This nasal breathing is really, really important for health. He
Mm.
calls us to rest, to sleep, to be in fellowship, to move. And so those are all the tenets. Those are all really important tenets and of how we're well. And so that's really what I love to teach about, is teach how God designed our body, how God designed our body to work in relation to creation. Because like I said, food is so important, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. And you can have your food nailed down and still some things be off. All right. And if we're putting uh, all of our eggs in just the food basket, if you will, we're missing a lot of these other important parts of health that and make food, I don't want to say less important, but give you more wiggle room, if you will. Because I always tell people I am not a perfect eater. I want to make cookies with my kids. I want to have a glass of champagne with my girlfriends. I want to eat holiday pie. Like, I- I'm not a perfect eater, but I eat well most of the time. And that is fine. God, we're not going to be perfect eaters, but I get sunshine. I get outside. I make a concentrated effort to go to bed and get my rest and do my detoxification. All of these things, all of these inputs are really important. And so when you have all of those things, you're not so white knuckling the food all the time, if you will. There's a little wiggle room there, which is really nice. You don't have to sweat it, because I think you have to have grace in your diet. That's one thing I really teach. You got to have some grace. You got to have some wiggle room. There can't be guilt and shame built around your diet, because if there is, it's not sustainable.
Yeah, and that's where people quit. Oh, I just had that pizza. Oh, my diet's done. I'm going to
Right.
go eat pizza every day now. You said a word that I love that's so important: accountability.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried to do it in the audience. I know you people listening out there tried to lose weight on our own, reading stuff, DIY on YouTube, looking at social media, and I'd yo-yo. And I love that phrase. Talk about how important accountability is. Now, some people can do it. I know some people that are very good, they're structured, but that's a small percentage.
It is.
Talk about your accountability, more about what you do with these groups.
Right, right. So we are in our groups, we are first and foremost, we are grounded in scripture. We are looking to these Bible references, like what is the Bible actually telling us about how to live, what our body is. So we are all coming together looking at that. We are sharing what our food looks like for that day, or just checking in with each other. What does that look like? What were your meals like? People are asking questions, asking about recipes, getting ideas, cheering each other on. And so it's an online group, but we're very active, and it's amazing to come together with other like-minded people that have this goal. And for us, it is this bigger goal of honoring and stewarding our bodies well. It's just stewardship. And so it's not about like, what size do I wear, or what does the scale say, or that kind of thing. It's just a switch of mentality, a switch of mindset, to just really
Yeah.
wanting to honor our bodies so that we can show up well. And so we're all working together towards that goal. And it's just a lot of good energy in that group when you have that. And so I think walking with somebody, literally, like even if it's going on a walk and you need a walking buddy, get a walking buddy, get somebody that is trying to eat healthier with you, or do any of these things, because that accountability is so helpful. Your chances of succeeding goes up exponentially when you involve other people and have fellowship around that.
You mentioned movements. You're in my head thinking about me. You're so far ahead of me, which is great because movement slash exercise is important. And that's the same thing too with the wiggle room. I work
Right.
out 6 days a
Yeah.
week, but I enjoy it. I look forward to my workout today. Talk about that because that's the other side of this. Like, I got to work out and I got to exercise. And they think all the weightlifting and stuff. Where's the wiggle room there?
Yeah. First of all, do the thing that you love, right? This is a funny story. I lived in Houston. I grew up in Houston, which is a big city. Um, but I married a cowboy. And I moved out to West Texas. He's a rancher. Okay. And so I moved from the big city to the country, married a cattle rancher. And one of my biggest concerns after I did this was like, what am I going to do? There's no gym. Oh my gosh. I didn't have a gym to work out in. And he's like, are you kidding me? You have like all these miles you can walk. I mean, he thought this was ridiculous. He's like, I can put you to work, girl. But anyway, so this has been, over 25 years now. So I just started walking outside every day. I love to walk. I love to do it outdoors, get the sunshine, just be out in nature. And that has been my primary form of exercise. Um, it's consistent. I would say that is the key, doing something you like and the consistency. And, there was a period when all my friends were doing all these like 5Ks and they were running. And I personally, I just don't like to run. It's just not me. If you like to run, that's great. I don't like to run, but I always felt like, gosh, I should be running, and I'm like, I don't want to. I don't like to. So I didn't, I cheered them on, but I've been consistent for all this time because I do what I like and I don't get sucked into doing something that I don't just because I feel like everybody else is doing it. So doing, walking and doing some just body weight, some free squats, some push-ups like that. I haven't had a gym, haven't gone to a gym in all that time. I just do it at home. And so it is very approachable in that way. Just moving your body is so important no matter how you do it. And just one more thing on that, when you look back, I always like to tease because if you look back at our biblical brothers and sisters, they didn't go to the gym. They didn't, have workout videos. They move their body naturally all day. And so, talking about wiggle room, the more you are just moving your body naturally throughout the day, choosing the stairs, choosing, to walk further in the parking lot, you're getting more of, this kind of more natural movement. And so, the more that you do that, the less you have to do some kind of, intentional hard exercise.
I like that. I had a podcast guest that was on the treadmill during the whole show,
Yeah.
sweating.
Yes,
And
I have one. I have it. It's right over there. It's a
yeah,
treadmill. I have a treadmill desk and I love that. And can walk very slow and do work, but it's just that extra movement.
moving, moving.
Mhm.
It's all this, just whatever that looks like. If it's just moving your arms, at your movement, just move. I love it. You're a brilliant woman. I've said this already. This is beautiful what you're saying. I so love it. So tell us a story of a client you work with and their success. I'm sure you have many, but if you could pick one out.
Yeah, I'll tell you who comes to mind. Her name's Pam. Um, I worked with her and she lost
Yeah, we're
50
back.
pounds.
Yeah,
Oh,
go
oh,
ahead.
did I cut out?
No, you're good. You froze for a little bit, but we're good.
Oh, she lost about 50 pounds, but that's not even why she's like, you saved my marriage. She said, just getting her what we were working on, and you can probably relate to this, is getting her blood sugar regulated. When we got her blood sugar regulated, she's like, I was so much nicer to my family. See, people don't realize how the way that they eat impacts their mood, impacts their patience, impacts the way they interact with people. And so, just by tweaking her diet, getting her blood sugar regulated, yes, she ended up losing 50 pounds, but she was nicer to her family. She owned a company, a cleaning company, and all her employees were, saying, "What are you? Hey, what are you doing? You're just so much more cheerful and nice these days. And she's like, I don't know how to take that. Do I take that as a compliment? Should I be insulted? Are they insulting me from before? But she was just a lovelier person to be around because she was taking care of herself. And so for that, for somebody that's like, wow, they're interacting with the people they love the most because they are the people that get the brunt of us mostly, right? Our family, the people we work with are getting kind of our bad side a lot because that's who we just kind of let it loose around. But to be able to show up with more patience and energy and just happiness and a good mood for her husband, for her son, for her employees. It was life changing for her. And those were simple dietary tweaks.
Yeah, when I lost the weight, stress 50% dropped.
Yeah.
And it's all that you said. You absolutely, I'm a living proof of that. That's awesome.
Mhm.
We're coming to the end here, but I love my podcast hosts. You're a wonderful podcast host. I actually listen to one of them. And tell us about it. What's it about? Name of the podcast.
It's the Christian Health Club podcast, and we talk about all of these things. I love teaching about these different elements. I have a lot of guests on, but I do a lot of solo shows where I'm teaching about these different things that I'm talking about with, getting your blood sugar regulated, how we eat. What does the Bible say about eating? What is this exposure to sunshine? How does it help our hormones? How are we detoxifying when we're sleeping? Just all of these different elements of health, relating it back to what really God's word says about our body and how we can use that as a guide and just cut out all of this noise that we hear, all of this conflicting advice, and just really settle into a place of peace in stewarding our health.
I love it. And audience will get the information on the podcast, how to get a hold of it, because you're serving them with education. So the biggest powerful thing you can do, and you do it for free and help people all over by doing that. The last question before we do an improv is, what are you excited about? We're at the end of 2025 here, but what's 2026 looking like for the Christian Health Club?
Yeah, we're doing a study right now about identity. What identity does God call us? A lot of people pick a word for the new year, and what we're really doing is trying to connect with God of what does he say about us? What does he call us? What is our identity? And using that to move into the new year to really kind of guide us in what we're doing with our health and just with where we're moving in our lives. And so I think bringing together that spirit, mind, body, it's not just about the body, it's about mindset, it's about your spiritual life, weaving that all together. That's full health. And so mostly I'm excited about that. But right now we're really focusing on that spirit part because I think a lot that gets dropped, that gets lost in the cracks, right? A lot of people just put that on the back burner, let it fall through the cracks, but you got to have that piece to have just this whole, to kind of bring it back where we started, Steve, that whole holistic wellness and being.
Well, you wrapped that up so well. I tell you, I thought I was going to have to wrap it up. I think you did a good job. And the funny thing is, we have to recognize spirit.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has it. I recognize it took me years to realize I needed to make a change. And I feel that when I go out of my wiggle room. So I love that you said that. Being aware, and to be a good servant heart, audience, you got to take care of yourself first. You can't be a good servant unless you're taking, you said that. I want to make sure people knew. So let's have a little fun. I do like a little improv at the end here.
Okay.
So I reserved the table at a restaurant for us, me and you. I want you to invite 3 people who have influenced you over your years, whether they're dead or alive. And then more importantly, I kind of know the answer to this, I think, what food is going to come to the table?
Okay. Um, well, I'm gonna say Jesus for sure.
Amen.
I'm gonna say my dad. Does it have to be? Can it be anybody?
Anybody. Anybody that's influenced you comes to the top of your head.
Okay. The one person that comes to the top of my head, she's a life coach. I don't know if you want me to say her name or not, but she's a life coach.
Go ahead.
Her name is Brooke Castillo. She's a life coach that I've followed really on about mindset. Gosh, so it'd be a really interesting dinner to have those 3 people together. But Steve, we're having steak at this dinner.
Figured as much. This Texas cow was going to bring steak and a potato. I'm thinking, and I'd
You
be
got
very
it.
happy.
You got
I
it.
love it. This is so wonderful. Chelsea, I got to thank you. God bless you for the work you're doing, and your heart is so big. I'm completely impressed. I've done 850 shows, and It's one of the most influential, intimate for me, and I'm sure for the audience. But I know they want to probably reach out and connect with you. How can they do that?
Oh, I would love for them to connect with me. I'm on Instagram at The Christian Nutritionist. My website is The Christian Nutritionist. The podcast is The Christian Health Club Podcast. You can find me in all those ways. And thank you so much for what you're doing. Truly, it has been so wonderful to connect with you.
Yeah, it's been a blessing. And we'll have all those links in the show notes. And, Chelsea, thanks again. And audience, subscribe to the YouTube channel and share this out. I've got 18,000 subscribers, a ton of subscribers. But more important about that is we're impacting people, because those 18,000 may take this show and share Chelsea with somebody else that's struggling, that's depressed, that's overweight, struggling in their bit, whatever that may be. That's the gift from God that I think podcasts are. If you want to subscribe to Chelsea, same way, she's educating you. Share that out with others. And I'm off my pedestal, but I think that's the power of these podcasts. Let's keep doing that. And with that being said, me and Chelsea want to thank everyone for watching or listening to this podcast. And we'll see you all in the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone.